Yeah, exactly. It's Lovecraftian.
Well, if you don't mind.
You are now listening to the Backseat Critics, the movie review podcast.
Welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name is RJ.
My name's Andrew.
Are you going to continue?
And this is a podcast where we review movies that you should steer clear of, except this week we're talking about 1990-something's Halloweentown.
1998, I believe.
98? Okay, I'm pulling up.
And we have a very familiar guest of the show, Mr. Ver.
That is my given name, actually.
Trevor!
It's my middle name.
Mr. Trevor. And I'm going to let Andrew lay out the show, per usual. All right, so just so you know, we usually do a trivia quiz question because Andrew's trying to look things up right now, but I don't think we have one ready and loaded, so we will not be doing that today.
Doing what?
The trivia quiz question.
No, we will. We will.
Oh.
Just give me a moment. Talk about some news topics or something. We went up to Halloweentown in St. Helens today, which is in Oregon. For those who are unaware, what were you guys saying?
Where the movie was filmed.
I thought that's what I just said.
No, you just said it was in Oregon. Why would they not know why we're going to St. Helens? We're just going to St. Helens for the fart of it.
Maybe we should start over this part.
This part? No, we're leaving this in. We're not to take Bobs.
Okay.
We are not to take Bobs. But anyways, I believe Andrew was about to ask, what were your thoughts, Mr. Trevor, about St. Helens in person for Halloweentown where the movie was filmed?
You want my thoughts?
Yes, I want your thoughts.
It was very cool to see the town square from the movie. That's kind of all you really get to see from the movie. There was a haunted house that was pretty cool.
Would you pay that $15 again to go through that haunted house?
I would not pay $15 to go through that haunted house. There were no scare actors.
And
I don't want to be too hard on it because I'm pretty sure it helps the local government. I believe that the city puts it on. But there wasn't a whole lot. I think Andrew put it best when he said that it felt like a spooky farmer's market. I wish there were more vendors. There were a lot of there was a lot of food, but I wanted to see some spooky artisan cobwebs or something like that.
So if you took out, let's say for this event, you took out the Halloweentown decorations around the town hall area.
It's the big pumpkin from the movie. I believe it's the original pumpkin. They put it back where it is in the movie, and it looks a lot like the
But if you take that out.
So that actually is the actual pumpkin from the movie. It was gifted to the town from Disney.
Nice.
So if you take out that pumpkin and the decorations in that area, such as the taxi that Benny drives in the movie that we'll get into later, the other weird pumpkin statues that they have in there, isn't it just a farmer's market?
It's a spooky farmer's market.
Without those decorations, would you just say it's a farmer's market, though?
Well, there were other stuff. We didn't do everything. There was a train ride. There was some kind of an exhibit. But the thing is, it all costed money. And I like to keep my money.
And a good amount of money, too.
Yeah, it was a bit expensive.
And I don't know if it would be worth it.
I don't think so. That was I think we were all hesitant to want to do the other things because $15 for a haunted house that had no actors in it, by the way.
All animatronics.
All animatronics. Cool animatronics.
Not all. Some were statues.
Some were statues, yes.
One moved.
They looked cool.
The spider jumped.
A little bit of a rave scene at the end.
Oh, yeah. There were rave lights at the end of it.
And some smoke.
And there was smoke, yes.
I was actually kind of shocked that the lady that bought us the ticket first calls out Andrew as a troublemaker. And then secondly, I was actually shocked that she was kind of spooked to go through this haunted house to use the restroom.
Okay, the lady said she said that we asked if it was scary, and she said, I don't go through it. Yesterday I worked 12 hours and didn't go to the bathroom the whole time because I have to
She has to go through it.
But it's very long, so I don't understand what she meant by that.
Right. There's also other doors that we could see.
Yeah. I'm guessing she meant one of those doors.
Right.
But I just like the idea of her having to go to the bathroom and having to go through the entire haunted house to get to the bathroom, pushing people out of the way.
Which, if you go through the whole haunted house, the exit is, no joke, about 5 or 6 feet from where Sherbrooke was. Which, there was literally a door, maybe 2 feet, to her right, our left from where we were in the booth, for like an exit. I'm assuming for people who couldn't pay but waited in line and stuff.
I got a pretty big sense of maybe unpreparedness. I don't want to say disorganization, but also kind of disorganization. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can only get a map if you buy something from the gift shop, and there were
attending the gift shop?
and there were we didn't see anyone like to pay for anything in the gift shop. I didn't, at least.
No.
And there were other maps, but they were very bad maps. Like,
We
someone
were
made them on a Word document.
We were scolded by somebody for like looking at one of the maps, and she's like, "Oh, no, those maps are for paying customers only." And then she follows that up with, "I don't actually work here."
There's
To which we looked around and didn't see anybody who actually worked there.
So, like, on the website, you can see all the attractions they have, and you're kind of just like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. I would check that out. But then when you get there, it's like, oh, well, did you buy the ticket that gives you access to this? And we were like, we weren't aware that we had to.
And they don't even show you where to buy the ticket. Like, nobody
Yeah.
knows where do you buy the ticket?
I never found out. Probably the information kiosk, but that's not clarified.
Right. There's a place online that you can buy the tickets.
Okay, if I could navigate the website, that would be great.
Right. Which is the other problem.
Yeah.
Um,
If you go, be prepared. Just plan in advance. We did not do that. That's on us.
it is a very Portland event. It feels a lot. It's very underwhelming. It is
It's kind
very underwhelming.
It's forced into the space that's the town square in the movie, which is less than ideal, I think, for an event like this.
It's super packed
It was
too for
very
the amount
crowded.
of stuff to do.
Yeah.
The amount of long lines for a picture
Yeah.
with the pumpkin.
And if you really like the movie, I mean, you'll probably have a decent time. But again, with regards to the movie, it's really just the pumpkin in the town square.
The movie theater call out was actually kind of cool.
Oh,
Or is
yes.
this closed forever?
The movie theater, yes. There was an actual movie theater where you could see Twilight or the Eras Tour movie. I was tempted. It's probably the most exciting thing I could have done was see Taylor Swift. But
Honestly, same thing. Would have had a better time.
there were people from Disney there, but only in one very small area where it's like a photo op where it just says Halloweentown. You can hold like some props from the movie. They weren't actually like from the movie, but it's like little plastic
Oh,
things,
little
from the movie.
styrofoam like cutouts and stuff like bus stop and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
monster masks. Yeah. The monster masks didn't even look like monsters from the movie.
That too, that was strange.
That was
Like,
really weird, 'cause-
Scarier than monsters from the movie, weirdly, with the
That's-
actual Disney thing.
So I didn't see the movie prior to going to Halloweentown,
Right.
and so seeing some of the masks and stuff that were there, I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe we'll see this cool, grotesque-looking pumpkin creature in the movie, or we'll see these cool goblin-y monster characters in the movie, and we don't.
And unrelated, but I must have seen at least 10 people dressed as a Sanderson sister. So many Sanderson sisters there, which, cool, more power to you, but there were a lot of them.
Also, the number of people dressed up as Spider-Man. There
I
was a
remember seeing
lot.
a lot of Spider-Man. A lot of pirates, weirdly. And there was a pirate section. That
There
didn't
was
really
a
explain
pirate
itself.
section, yeah,
It's just kind of there.
which was,
It looked cool. I don't know what it had to do with Halloween. I guess dressing up.
I mean, the pirate section could have fit in this living room. Oop! I just hit myself in the face with this mic. But yeah, no, it was just kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, strange experience, but we saw the pumpkin.
Yep. Yep.
The pumpkin has been seen by us.
We've taken pictures of the pumpkin. The pumpkin does exist. Oddly, a spookier day of the year, just given the weather, than the movie had, because the movie was just sunny days the whole time.
Probably shot the summer before it came out, would be my guess.
Also, a couple things really like don't wait in line for that pumpkin picture. Just go off to the side. You'll get a clear shot when somebody moves away. You won't be right next to the pumpkin, but you can get a picture with the pumpkin still. Secondly, when they say that Agatha's house is up at the top of the hill and you walk up all that flight of stairs, that is not her house.
It's weird that they were saying that. And watching the movie,
The view is there from the movie.
it's the same view,
but not the house.
but not the house. Yeah, it's so strange.
So, Halloweentown was filmed in St. Helens, Oregon, and Scappoose, Oregon, from May to June 1998.
Okay, yeah.
So
they edited
spring.
the movie together in what, 4 months? Then marketing.
Basically, yeah. The Noble Hill Riverview Bed and Breakfast in St. Helens was used for exterior shots of Agatha Cromwell's Halloweentown. The voice of Skeleton Benny was added in post-production as a result. The actors on set were performing opposite a voiceless animatronic. Animatronic. Wow, I'm very hydrated.
Great.
Can we get more hydration?
No. All right. So I'm going to jump right into the news topic now, as I can say that Halloweentown in St. Helens was kind of a wet noodle this year to me, or a wet pancake.
Maybe it was better before COVID. We talked about
Possibly, yeah. Before COVID, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
But maybe I need to go with somebody that knows what they're doing while they're there.
I think that was a big issue also. We did not know what we were doing. We could have planned, but we did not.
No, but also, like, if you look at the tickets, they sell out this, like, hey, there's a tour of some dressed up houses and stuff that you can go to. There's a train ride, but they don't really say what any of those things entail. Yeah. It's like, oh, cool, a train ride, but what does that entail?
Yeah.
Is that just a ride around the coastline there?
Do people come down and scare you on the train?
Right. Like,
it's also like, it's a family friendly Halloween event, which is cool, all for that. But yeah, it's. I think kids would enjoy it more. Although, given the price of some of the things, there's probably something else that would be better.
For the haunted house?
15.
Oh, 15?
But still. Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple news topics. First one is that they are making a live action Gargoyles TV show, Disney Plus style. What are your feelings about that?
It's interesting timing because they actually did a remaster of the old Gargoyles, I think, Super Nintendo game, pretty recently. So I don't know what's going on with the resurgence there.
It kind of seems to me like it's going to be one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, unless they use like practical makeup effects like Halloweentown, it's going to be a lot of CGI. Probably not great looking CGI.
It's not a fan of.
I think it could be fun if they did like the kind of prosthetics that you see in Halloweentown, like the gargoyles were like people in a costume. I don't think they'll do that though, because Disney just doesn't plan the stuff that they make. They make it and they throw it to the visual effects artists and they're like, fix it
in post.
So
every visual effects artist's worst nightmare. Just fix it in post. Yeah, no, I'm with you. It'd be cool to see it aimed at like young adults and like lean into like prosthetics and costumes and more practical effects and make it a little bit scarier and just see what you can do. But I don't see that happening.
All right, my next topic is a few years ago, we had a fight in Disneyland inside of Toontown. Now we have a fight inside of Fantasyland where people are throwing fists.
What? I haven't seen this.
Fantasyland right by the storybook ride.
Do we need to pause so I can watch this? Is there a video of it?
There is a video of it.
I need to see this right
now. It
now.
is a straight up fight inside of Fantasyland. What would you do if you saw a fight inside Disneyland? Would you stop and watch?
I would stop and watch. Yeah, I mean, ideally I'd break it up, but I wouldn't want to get involved. Morally, I'd want to get involved, but physically, no. Thank you.
I think it's crazy that people fight inside of Disneyland. Like, why?
I don't think it's that crazy.
No.
I think it happens more often than it shows, too, from what I've heard.
I'm sure.
Is that with the heat, I've heard cast members talk about it where the heat kind of get into it a little bit, or the heat kind of affects people a little bit. Fight breaking out inside of Fantasyland right next to the storybook ride.
I wonder, whenever I see this, I always wonder, like, is it two different parties, or is it, like, one family who have had it with each other?
So the first one, the Toontown one was one family.
It was one, yeah, wow, wild.
That one was one family. Mom was there trying to break up the fight. You know what? We spent 2 hours when that fight happened the next day at work, breaking down the fight, going about when mom's going to take the fall, when she's going to save, who's watching the kids, and being able to pick out who's a Disneyland security guard, who's not a Disneyland security guard. We literally spent 2 hours dissecting that video. I have that video down. This one, I am excited to go and dissect as well.
Do a whole episode about it.
Ooh, Disneyland fights coming soon.
Stay tuned. That's just wild. It's just wild.
I like that you were like, and news stories. Some strangers fought in a public area. What are our thoughts on that? It's like, I don't know. What kind of thoughts can you have on
right?
strangers fighting?
I don't know. Put people in a high pressure situation where they spent a lot of money to wait in line for who knows how long with other jerks in the heat or the rain or whatever the situation is.
I've been ready to throw fists at Disneyland. I haven't done it. Hopefully I won't, but I totally understand it.
Oh, I have.
You've thrown fists at Disneyland?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
No, I didn't. I got super aggressive with people I was on the rides with. Yeah,
Well, I think it's just interesting to see people fight inside of Disneyland. I think that there is situations where people like get cut like in line.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things. The heat gets affected. You get the Karens of Disneyland. You get the people, oh, we gotta take the picture. Oh, we gotta go do this now. We gotta go do this. And then if something gets thrown off, they get really mad.
Fair.
But this like clearly wasn't in line. This was just like in the middle of an area.
You know what? In Disneyland, I don't know how many times has someone ran into the back of my leg with a stroller, and I wanted to swing.
I can't name the number of times I've been running down a little running path, and somebody still bumps into me with their stroller. I don't feel like that's a Disneyland exclusive thing. Or I've been at the mall where there's a wide area that you can just go around me, but yet gotta find the person.
It is a Disneyland exclusive thing because I don't know how many times that same person can bump you like 5 times in a row as you're walking past the Rivers of America, and then just blast in your leg, and you're like, bro, you said sorry 4 other times, and now you just did it a 5th time. You're not sorry anymore. You're just upset for some reason.
Darn you, Tammy.
Dang straight.
All right, you guys ready for a quiz question?
Hell yeah. Heck yeah.
That's fine. So Judith Hogue, who played the mom in this, had to miss the premiere of her other movie in 1998 for this. What was her other movie? I'll tell you what. It was a big blockbuster. Wasn't a good one.
Can I ask a yes or no question?
Sure.
Did she play a mom again? Do you know?
I don't know. I want to say it was a wife character rather than a mom.
Was it like a children's film?
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily like gratuitous and violent or anything like that, but it's more of an adult film. Any guesses?
I feel like I'm going to say a movie that came out a different year.
My bald-headed friend.
No.
No.
All right.
I'm very curious, though.
We'll get back into that.
No.
At the very end.
No.
But first, I gotta do some preparation. Set up that randomizing wheel.
Whoa. Hold the phone. We got a 2-minute summary. I feel like you should be able to do a 2-minute summary tonight, Andrew. What you got, Andrew? You got a 2-minute summary? Actually, no. We've cut it down. It's a minute summary now, my fair man.
It's much easier.
1-minute summary of Halloweentown, Andrew.
It's not a very complicated movie.
Oh, for him, it is. It is a very complicated movie for Andrew. But that's okay, because he's got 1 minute to tell us about it. And Andrew, guess what? You're on the clock now.
All right, so this movie starts off. There were some witches. The grandma comes to visit, but she's a witch, and the mom doesn't want the kids to know that she's related to witches. So the kids sneak away with the grandma to the witch town, and they go to the witch town where Willy Wonka, but doppelganger Willy Wonka, wants to take over as Emperor Palpatine, but he can't without this sconce, and so the mom comes, and as a family, like Dom used to say, we're family, and then they stop Palpatine and slash anti-Willy Wonka, and then they save Halloweentown, and then they invite Grandma to stay in, I'm assuming, the house until they get bored of Grandma. And we're done. Easier?
I think much easier, yeah. You hit the nail on the head.
Perfect.
Ooh, that sounds like the ghost sounds that the fake girl is making. You know what? There's a challenge accepted. Trevor, ready, set, go. 1 minute.
For what?
1 minute summary, brother.
Oh, okay.
You're 57 seconds in.
So Halloweentown tells the story of just normal kids, Marnie, Sophie, and brother. And they are not allowed to do anything on Halloween, and they're really frustrated about it. Their mom won't let them, and she won't tell them why. Their grandma comes to visit on Halloween every year.
40 seconds left.
And they haven't put together that she's a witch from Halloweentown. So they sneak onto a bus to Halloweentown, and then they're in the titular Halloweentown. And they find out there's a dark force that is trying to turn
left.
all of the Halloweentownians evil. But the grandma is making a broth that will... you have to put it into a...
20 seconds
sconce,
left.
and then the sconce has to go into the pumpkin, and they get the sconce in the pumpkin, and they find out that the brother is also magic. Oh, they're all magic, by the way. And they join forces and
10
defeat
seconds.
him, and then they live happily ever after until Halloweentown 2: Calabar's Revenge. And the rest. We don't talk about those, though.
Time is up.
You guys not have a policy on spoilers?
I thought, do we not do the whole thing? Because you did the whole thing, so that was what I was thinking.
Yeah, we do the whole
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, no spoiler alert.
Yeah. I mean, people should know. If you're listening to a movie review, you're gonna spoil it.
Wait, I just realized this is the 25th anniversary of this movie, and they didn't do anything special with the Halloweentown thing.
No.
1998 to 2023. It's 25 years.
What's sad is if they did do something special, and this is what it was. I mean, no offense to the people who put it together, but I mean, I've been to a similar place in Vancouver and by Portland State University and by the waterfront and in the parking lot off of Sunnyside and in downtown Milwaukee, generally on Sundays or Saturdays, whenever farmers markets are. Like, it's just an hour away. I mean, if you're in Portland, it's an hour away.
What's our first topic?
Oh, first topic is going to be... Wait,
Let's do the spinning.
no, I didn't spin it yet. I didn't spin it. We're spinning the wheel. It's gonna last forever. We got scenes. So, Trevor, what is your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is probably... I've always kind of really liked the ending. As, like, cheesy as the movie is, I think it's really sweet when the family comes together and defeat the creature Calabar. RJ and Andrew are like getting really close to me for some reason. I'm explaining my reasoning and they're doing this for some reason. Anyway, I think it's a sweet climax to the film.
Gotcha. Got him.
So my favorite scene was not the end fight.
No, it was not.
It was the introduction of the Emperor Palpatine character,
Calabar.
Thank you. In the movie theater. I won't even call it a fight. It was just him Yeah.
It was an attack. They were being attacked.
Yeah, I was gonna say altercation suggests that the protagonists of the movie did something in defense or to attack back, but they never did that. They just kind of stood there and took it.
Well, no, Debbie Reynolds was hopping around avoiding the blast, which was amazing.
But she never like shot back.
Nope, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Maybe she
she just dodged around a bit, but it was still an attack. As Emperor Palpatine kind of revealed himself to be Willy Wonka, I think, at this point.
No, that was later. But why did you like it so much?
Oh, just because it was probably the spookiest moment of the scene. You've got the single light source being the screen of the theater. You have other characters frozen in seats, just like half-dead skelly men and grotesque little goblin things. Like there's goblins running around, but like these, like they're like sunken in, and their teeth are sticking out. They got no eyeballs, like that kind of stuff. It's like it's probably the creepiest moment in the movie, and it's not creepy, but it's
definitely like for kids.
For kids, it's definitely the creepiest moment, and like that felt like the most Halloween-y and like kind of an original kind of setup for me.
I also want to add that in that scene, the only, presumable death in the movie happens in that scene because one of the not corpses, but they're like immobilized.
Oh yeah,
creatures just gets yeeted into oblivion.
Yes,
just gets thrown into the TV screen, which is like this big portal,
and just
flies off, and it never gets resolved. You don't see him later in the movie. He just is dead.
So yeah, that whole scene, I enjoyed it in this because it just felt the most Halloween-y.
My favorite scene was a collection of scenes of when they're collecting spell things.
Whoa. We're talking top scene. You can't say collection of scenes because if I'm saying my favorite scene is a collection of scenes from minute 00 to the end of the movie. Like, come on now. Pick a scene.
Okay, so there's a part where they zipped a guy werewolf, and there's a part where they made a ghost sweat. And
that wasn't even fast enough to be considered a montage.
Fine.
Segment?
My favorite scene is when they make a ghost sweat, and then they're trying to collect these items for the spell, including a Dracula tooth and a werewolf's hair. And as all part of one scene, even if Andrew disagrees, but it's okay. But they're trying to collect a sweat from Ghost, and this ghost was in a sweat box, a little chubby ghost. He was a chubby ghost, and the chubster ghosty, he goes into it, and the little sister decides to play Ghost. And he was a chubby ghost. Yes, he was chubby. And the sister decides to play a ghost, and the ghost takes offense of it, and he gets out, and all of a sudden he's skinny like a classic comedy. And he was a chubby ghost. And it was a funny scene. It was a funny scene. It was a little comical.
I really liked in that scene how like they're trying to distract the ghost, and so the brother, I can't remember the brother's name. He like walks up and just starts. Dylan walks up and he just starts like
spitting random facts
at the ghost, and like instead of being like, why are you talking to me, weird human child, he just kind of like goes along with it.
He goes,
he only gets mad when the little sister is being racist to ghosts.
Well, I thought it was kind of weird.
She's in Ghostface.
Marnie's off to the side too. She did Ghostface.
It's 100%.
And then he shot back with a human thing too, right back at her. If you guys didn't catch that,
I didn't.
Yeah, little human jokes there.
What was it?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but he did shoot back at her. And I was like, Anyways, though, but off to the side, Marnie's over there with pulling the heat on the sweat box a little more and more and more. And it's just like, Mr. Ghost, you saw her walk over to that. Why aren't you checking this, Mr. Ghost?
They really screwed over a couple of characters doing this because they really could have just asked, but instead they like harassed them.
It's like, how much of a werewolf's hair did you need?
I think it said hair of a werewolf, so they could have just asked him to pluck a hair.
Right. The sweat
Instead
of
they
a ghost, they
shaved
could have
off-
just asked, hey, when you sweat, could you just drop some in here?
Is it weird in Halloweentown to ask for body parts for potions?
Is a vampire planning on keeping it their tooth?
That one was the one where they didn't screw anyone over. They just kind of somehow disguised themselves as dental hygienists and took it.
Right. But still, like, when you have a tooth pulled, I mean, I've never had a tooth pulled, but like for people who have, like, are they saving teeth?
I had it one pulled and they did give it back to me, but I was a child, so it was like a tooth fairy thing, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know about adults or vampires.
No, they toss it.
They also clarified that the dentist was the tooth fairy, so no need to keep it. He probably just gives you your money right there.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
What a terrible business.
Yeah. It's cheap dentistry, though.
Terrible business.
All right, Trev.
Business model.
What was your number 2?
I like the opening of the movie. It's pretty boring, but I think it does a really good job of setting up what each character is about, what they're like, their relationships with one another. It includes this fire roast from Marnie to Dylan, where he says the girl in the book is too cute to look like you, and she says this coming from someone who could win an ugly contest, and Dylan just dies right there in the movie. He collapses
Just gives
dead.
up on the easiest burn.
Yes.
She got that burn from the toilet story.
But it's a good scene. I think that it really sets up the movie well. It sets up the characters. It sets up the intrigue about Halloweentown. Like, you're very interested. You can tell as an audience member that the grandma is from Halloweentown. And so you're wondering, like, ooh, I wonder what this place is like. Because she has, like, a book, and she kind of teases everything that you're going to see in the movie. I think it's a good, solid opening.
So my question about the opening, because that was going to be one of my top picks.
Sorry.
No worries. Don't apologize. Is you do see the top of the clock tower when the bus is arriving. So my question is Halloweentown just in a parallel universe of that same exact town? Like, are they both the same town? Just one is Halloween-y with monsters and werewolves and ghosts and stuff?
That's a good question. I mean,
because if so, like, that's kind of a cool idea where it's like, hey, one is like, I guess it'd be like a Stranger Things kind of thing, like where there's like an upside down, but just like with ghosts and ghouls and goblins and stuff.
I think that you're giving this question more thought than the writers did. I think it was just a mistake. But that being
was
said,
there writer strikes going on?
I believe that I swear, I don't remember the fourth movie very much. I just know that Marnie goes back in time, and I think there's like some Halloweentown lore, but you don't get much of that. You don't need it, really. I don't think it's necessary, but I think that there are answers to those questions. I do not have them, though.
Interesting. So my number 2 scene is going to be the one that I can remember. My number 2 scene is going to be the moment where they're first introduced to the wild zany the wild taxi cab driver, whose name I forget. Barney. And
It's Benny.
Barney. And
It's Benny, bud.
don't call me Bud, pal.
It's Benny. Kid.
I'm older than you.
I'm a 31-year-old trapped in a 62-year-old body.
Go on.
So anyways,
Benny the cab driver, whom you hate. You hate his face. You hate his big ugly face.
I was so confused. Like, was it proper, like, animatronics working his eyebrows, or were they CGing it up? I'm still not 100% sure. I think I'm with Trevor on this one, because you brought this up where it's like it could be some of it like animatronics and then some of it like pushed to the limit with like CGI. But this guy's eyebrows were all over the place.
The eyebrows were intense. And like, if it was CGI, it's pretty impressive. But also, if it was just an animatronic, that's also impressive.
It's
I guess
super
just the
impressive.
face has to move.
Yeah.
But it's a very expressive face for a
Like
skeleton.
every other word, this guy's eyebrows were going from like angry to happy to sad to surprised. And they were just like, calm down. Choose an emotion, please.
You see him as a human in the sequel.
What?
Yeah. So we gotta watch that now.
Halloweentown 2.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're not even going to put that up to discussion. We're going to talk about that one.
All right, because you guys slept on it. My number 2 is going to be when we go back to when they are collecting items for this potion, because I guess I got disqualified. But when they go into this hair parlor shop where this werewolf is cutting hair, and the Marnie decides to distract him as a little brother. Dylan sneaks up behind him, goes, bzz, cuts the hair, and he goes, "Oh, my hair's still good. This is a new look. I can work for this." When there's nothing up front that was done to his hair. But I enjoy the comedy. It's a good knee slapper.
Seinfeld did it better a few years before.
You shut your dirty mouth.
I'm just saying.
We're talking about Halloweentown. We ain't talking about no Seinfeld.
I'm just saying.
We're talking about Halloweentown.
We're talking about Halloweentown, but I'm just saying.
We are talking about
same idea.
Halloweentown, not Seinfeld. No George Costanza in this one.
It's fantastic because
No Kramers.
I can cut all of this out.
That's okay.
I can cut all of this out.
I'm ranting.
So, my next favorite scene was one of the scenes
With George Costanza?
one of the scenes in the grandma's house shortly after she and the mother are... It's not really clear what happens then. They just kind of turn blue for a second and then stop moving. But it's... they are making the brew that they need to defeat the villain, and
Oh,
they're
stepson, I've been smurfed. There's one way to fix it.
Oh, gosh.
So they're in the grandma's house and they're making the brew, and Marnie can't remember the words because she's kind of a moron. But
Find hot single smurf stepmoms near you.
but the littler sister Sophie, she remembered the words because she made a song, and I like that scene because it made Sophie actually useful and not annoying like she had been for most of the movie. It gave her a purpose. Finally.
Character motivation is always good,
Yeah.
which was kind of lacking in the first part of this movie,
Yeah.
for sure. My number 3. Man, there's a lot of this movie that I am missing.
I think that this movie just doesn't have a lot of scenes. I think it just has long scenes.
I think you're right.
I got 2 loaded.
Like, I'm gonna go with the finale scene. Like, I know there's like one other scene that like is kicking around in my head. You want to know? No. I'll do the other scene. I want to do when we first meet the villain of the movie, Cankerous.
Calibar. You mean in human form?
Yeah. But where he's a warlock.
Yeah, like the introduction to Halloweentown, basically. 'Cause he's one of the first characters they meet.
Yeah. I know that's like kind of tied up with the taxi bit, but when he first comes up and he's like pulling the lollipop out of his ear, and he's like being all friendly to the kids and stuff, being like, oh, are you young witches? Like, have you young women been here for long?
You describing it this
out-
way makes it sound so much creepier than it comes off in the movie.
Check out this candy I got. Here, have some of my ear candy.
Unwrapped.
Unwrapped. Are you down to my ear candy? Poof.
My loose ear candies.
Like, what? What?
The perfect way to endear yourself to children. Like, he's half right.
Like, the dude is dressed up. Like, he's dressed up like Willy Wonka. He's got the curly hair like Gene Wilder. He's got the top hat on, but it's black. He's got the suit on, but it's black. But it's still like it's embroidered similarly. Well, I'm going to struggle with that one. But yeah, his is like Papa's like, wow, young witches. I haven't seen your faces. Like, whoa, dude, settle down. Like, cool it a little bit here.
But later when you find out he's the villain, I guess it kind of makes sense that he was approaching them because he probably knew, right?
Yeah.
You'd think it's not clear, but probably did.
It does come across that way. But my gosh, what a way to introduce this movie is like jumping into the main town and this dude comes up pulling candy out of his ears to give it to children he hasn't seen before and he's excited to meet.
Also, he's an ex-flame of their mom, too.
Right.
Which is such a weird thing to involve. There's no reason for that to be a part of the
They
movie,
could have
but
cut
it
that
is.
whole part out and the
It
movie
almost-
would have remained basically the same.
It almost feels like there was a draft of the script where he was their dad.
That's what I was getting too.
But they
And
say in the
it
beginning
feels
that the
like
dad is dead.
the third act they decided to like just nix that and be
Exactly.
like, oh, he just wants to be with the mom.
Yeah.
Which was a weird way to go because it leaves them as like, oh, they're talking about like half witches instead. But
They're
like,
talking about that, yeah.
why not just have him be the dad? Because we never really meet the dad.
They say the dad is dead briefly at the beginning.
So yeah, it's just why involve him?
I think they bring out the dad being dead because they wanted to make an excuse to have it in the mortal realm for the grandma to drag him into Halloweentown, and being the dad is mortal, to drag the mom out and then drag him back in.
It's funny that the mom says that because she's like, your dad was a human, so you're going to live in the human world. And it's like, not to be callous, but like, he's not around anymore, so I don't
What's holding
understand what's
you back?
holding you here.
She likes it more. I don't know.
I want to live in a world with magic.
My number 3 scene, I don't know why you guys passed over this, is that the hot tea that was spilled during the bus ride on the way to Halloweentown, when the townsfolk are spilling tea about stuff on the way in.
Specifically, what were they talking about?
How somebody wearing a kid's mask came up and scared them.
I think I went to the bathroom for that part.
So apparently in originally blah 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 blah, they used an image of Kimberly Brown cast as Marnie for the book, obviously. But originally the initial ending of the film featured Marnie. This is per Wikipedia with some sources here that I don't feel like maybe clicking on. So Marnie traveling deep into an enchanted forest to place the talisman. With each step, the character was supposed to grow older the deeper into the forest went. The makeup department took a life mask of Kimberly J. Brown to make different prosthetics to age Marnie. Before the makeup process was completed, the ending was rewritten with Marnie placing the talisman in the jack-o'-lantern, which makes me think, because the enchanted forest and the additional prosthesis probably needed for other characters other than Marnie.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a much more expensive ending.
It sounds more expensive. It also sounds like this was rushed for release.
Well, yeah, if we'd established that it was filmed in that summer, and then obviously they wanted to release it on that Halloween, so
yeah,
rushed is definitely a good word for it.
So that's I absolutely, I'm with you that I bet you they changed that ending. And rewrote some things that like maybe he was meant to be the dad, and they did rewrite that he was just he's just a guy wanting.
I wonder if they were going to shoot the enchanted forest scene since they were filming in Oregon
And
in the actual enchanted forest. Context: there's a theme park in Oregon called the Enchanted Forest,
And that's when they got stabbed by needles and the powers became to be and Halloweentown started.
yes.
Just as underwhelming as Halloweentown.
Whose turn is it now? We keep going off on tangents. I think it's your turn.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, no, we're
Yeah?
we're
Okay,
done.
Cool, whatever.
Next thing. So we're gonna spin that wheel. Do you mind pressing number 1
Me?
over there? Top left of the lit up buttons.
It's A.
Or A.
You made this?
The wheel sound effect?
I don't know.
No, this is just a website. I want to create one that's like ad free that we can just like use and just like add and edit. But anyways, our next topic is going to be characters. And since Trevor, you went first last time, RJ, you're going to go first this time.
Is it recording?
Suckers.
Is it recording?
It is recording.
Yeah.
You can tell because there's a red dot.
light is on by the record button. We should be good, and there should be a timer going on the screen.
But who hit the record button? Oh, okay.
So
Thought it
my
was a
number
ghost.
one character, I'm gonna steal it.
Cool.
I'm gonna steal the number one character of this movie right off the bat, and it's gonna be Benny, the cab driver.
Andrew, shut up. Jesus Christ.
It's okay. I don't have neighbors right now, but it's okay.
Oh, okay,
'cause, I stole number one. Benny, the cab driver. Good character, funny, facial structure is out there, and he is number one.
Your bones should not move like that. If your bones are moving like that, please see a doctor. Please see a doctor.
All right, whoever's got number one, they're number one ready.
I think I'm gonna have to go. I mean, it's an obvious choice, but Grandma Agatha, played by the late great Debbie Reynolds. I think that Debbie Reynolds understood what she was doing in this movie. Like, she's hamming it up like everyone else, but she actually feels like more of a real character than the rest.
I think some of that's just her acting experience, which does come across. Even though she's hamming it up, you could tell she knows what she's doing.
Not that it's a deep performance or anything, but I think that she just kind of gives her she's likable from moment one. She's flawed. You can see that she understands that she's made mistakes with her family and all that. I just think she's a pretty as well-rounded of a character as you can get for a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah.
But she's fun to watch all the time. She gives the movie a flair. She gives it a lot more energy because she's working with kids for most of it, and she has to kind of carry the thing. But
what's interesting is, I guess not really interesting, but makes sense, is she apparently kept introducing herself to the other cast members of the movie as the mom of Princess Leia.
Yes, I've heard. I listened to Carrie Fisher's audiobook, and
okay,
yeah, she said that her granddaughter would say, "I'm Princess Leia's daughter," and
Really?
Debbie Reynolds said, "I wish she would say that she was my granddaughter instead."
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, very sweet.
Do you?
Oh, it is me. So I'm going to go with Mr. Potato Head himself, Cadaver.
Which one?
What do you mean?
Calabar?
Yeah.
Calabar.
Are we going with it when he's dark, or are we going with Willy Wonka?
What do you mean when you say dark?
When he's Darth Sidious, or when he's Willy Wonka?
All right, folks, I think we have a native resident of Spokane, Washington over here. Cool your jets.
I don't know how you're... talk like dark horror.
Why do you like Calabar, Andrew?
Which?
Please elaborate.
So, every scene that this guy was in, he was hamming it up. It was not good, but it was fun. He was leaning into the I'm a bad guy in a kid's movie vibe. He was pulling candy out of his ear. He was he yelled no when they dropped a sconce into a pumpkin. He just went, no! Really?
He drew out every
it felt
syllable
so
that he could.
anticlimactic, but it was just he was a perfect character for a kind of bad Halloween kids movie kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of what you want.
When I was a kid, my parents wouldn't let me watch this movie because they thought that Calabar was the devil for some reason. I don't
Really?
know why. Yeah. So, the spook factor worked on my parents, at least.
Wow. That's crazy. But no, I absolutely loved him. Every moment he was on screen, I'm like, yes.
My number 2 character is going to be the Ghost, Mr. Chubby Ghost, goes to Skinny Ghost in a matter of seconds because of the kids inside the thing. He had a little gangster vibe going to him a little bit. He's like, yeah. He sounded like Curly mixed with the gangster. Curly from the Three Stooges mixed with the gangster.
Next was Joe Pesci.
Yeah. That's what I just like. I like the vibe of this ghost. I felt like he was a gangster ghost, chubby gangster ghost.
This movie was missing Joe Pesci. If they would put Joe Pesci in any role, 10 times better. 10 times.
All right, Trevor, what's your number 2 character?
No one said Marnie. No one said Marnie yet, right?
Nobody said Marnie. Marnie's fair game.
I guess I'll go with Marnie because she's the last character that I found likable.
Wow.
And even that is kind of a stretch because she's like a little annoying. But I appreciate that the main character was ambitious. I appreciate that she worked to achieve her goals. This is like the bare minimum of a character that I'm talking about.
And
but
her rap career isn't going to start anytime soon.
I liked that she was not afraid to be a little mean sometimes. She was like roasting her brother the entire movie.
Well, let's be honest, he deserved it a little bit.
She did.
The best burn, calling him chocolate bar.
She did call a villain a chocolate bar at one point.
Calling the villain, yeah.
None of us can understand why or how it's an insult, but
If anyone can understand that, please just DM us.
please.
I believe Trevor's still going about Marnie, so we're going to let him continue.
Nope, not a lot to say. Marnie's all right.
Guess what? There's one more to go after this. You chose the taxi cab driver, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, this is rough. This is rough. So I'm going to go with the kid, Zach.
Luke, wiener boy.
Oh, Luke, yeah.
Luke. That was close. Same thing. And I felt like this guy probably had, outside of Marnie, had the one character arc in this. It felt kind of half-assed, but I mean, yeah, the whole premise about him agreeing to help Captain Potato Head with his plot, thinking that Captain Potato Head just wants the sconce, and I'll just get to be pretty to get Marnie. That's like at least vaguely interesting, and then like him going from like helper of the villain to kind of good guy. That was good. That was good. It was a one other character outside of Marnie that I felt like had actual development to them.
Okay, well, very unrelated, but
Outside of the mom.
I am discovering that the actor who plays Luke was the voice of Arnold in Hey Arnold for seasons 2 and 3.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wild.
All right, my third and final character is listed in the credits as Wolfie is his name. And if you guys don't know, that is actually going to be the hairdresser in this movie, the werewolf hairdresser, where he gets his hair buzzed and he has like the Elvis vibe to him. What do you mean? Give me that look. Shut your mouth. He had a little bit of, it's like, yeah, baby, yeah.
The Elvis vibe of chasing down an airplane, saying that he's a drug enforcement officer to stop the plane so he can get on.
100% this werewolf would do that. 100%. And I think that this werewolf had a good comedic vibe, got a good hair vibe to him. He had the criteria of RJ's number 3 favorite character in this movie.
Okay, my third, and I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel here for this, was probably the mom.
Oh man, I hate you.
I think you missed. You said that only 2 characters had a character arc. She also had a character arc.
You missed what I said right after I mentioned Luke and handed off to RJ. Was it is the only character that had character arc other than the mom. Yeah,
I'll take your word for that. But anyway,
no, you earned her.
I think
you earned her.
The simple reason that I want to call her out is because she is kind of the the grounded character in the film. She's the only person from the human world in the movie who isn't a child actor, and that comes through in the performance. Like, I think that the mom did a really good job, the actor, and I think that it was kind of cool seeing her, like, just eventually she, like, uses magic, and I think that her arc was cool because it's kind of like what Marnie was trying to do, was to change her mom's mind, and she was successful at the end, and at the end they're a big happy family. Yeah, the mom was lit, TBH. Yeah.
So I think we're basically out of characters. So no, I'm waiting a moment, RJ. I'm waiting a moment. I'm gonna go with that dentist.
Horrifying.
Yes, which is as dentists are. I felt like this was the best acting I've seen of a dentist. And did you just clap for me? Wow, thank you. I'm honored. Speaking of, thank you for giving me the clap.
Hope you cut that out too.
But no, he was horrifying. He was way too into pulling this vampire's teeth, which is, as dentists are, a little too into what they're doing.
The vampire that he was pulling the teeth from had the most unplaceable accent, and even as a kid, it always threw me off. It was so strange.
It was like every other word.
That didn't hurt at all. But it was like, even that I feel like you could place. It was just this weird accent that
It
she
was
gave
like they
her for
told
like
her
3 lines.
It was like they told her to do a European accent, and then she just like, I don't know, German or Scottish or English,
same
and just
time.
like, fine, let's just do it all.
That's honestly me if I try to do an accent. That's how it comes out as. I'm not going to lie. So I vibe with that character. All right, what's our final topic here? Let's run that one more time.
Did you do your number 3 character?
Yes, it
started.
was Wolfie. I started it. My guy.
Say we're spinning the wheel.
We're spinning the wheel. We're going to click A. We're spinning the long wheel of doom that takes forever.
Make it shorter spin.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, what's the last one here? Oh gosh, there's not enough of those in this. I don't know why you picked this.
We'll spin again.
What was it?
It was spells and magic. There was not enough of that in this movie for all of us to have one, so we cannot pick that.
Oh, this one's good. We're not doing.
Costumes and monsters.
So, Trevor went first for the first bit scenes. RJ went first bit.
Go ahead, Pixar. What Andrew's trying to say is that he's about to pick first here.
Yeah. Sorry, I just need to get a little bit more hydrated.
No. All right, let's go.
So my number 1 costume / character. I mean, sort of just costume is going to be Bernard, the taxi cab driver.
All right, so Benny is your number 1.
Benny, I guess. Bernard, whatever. I mean, same thing. Dude was all over the place. I just like when you get a good animatronic in, which I realize that's not really a costume because it's not put over a person. Should we clarify? Are we doing costumes over people, or are we including animatronics?
Sure. Benny is a good costume.
Are we doing?
Was it costumes and creatures? I thought
It was
said?
costume and creatures.
Yep. So Benny's
So yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with I'm going with Barney.
All right, Trevor, you can go number 2.
Okay, easy. It would be Agatha's opening outfit when she first arrives, because I literally said as she was getting off
You
the
want the
bus
cloak?
that I want her cloak, and then I saw the rest of it and I was like, I want it all. Actually, I would wear that.
Wow.
Agatha look number 1 is slays the house down boots.
You guys slept on the best answer. And there's a part inside the ice cream shop where a Yeti is giving out ice cream in an ice cream man outfit. What? That's the number one best outfit in the whole movie.
I missed
Costume,
that.
creature, character. It was just in a brief background. And I thought to myself, I looked at it, I was like, if we do creatures and I don't go first, someone's gonna nab that one from me.
Don't think I saw that.
And I think you all slept on it, so I'm happy to take that as my number one, and I am satisfied. And I've won. I don't care what you guys have left, but I've won the best creature. So slash costume. Andrew, go ahead with your number two because I won. Oh, that's right. You don't have one because I just won.
One moment.
Yeah, it's because you can't think of another one. Sucker. Oh, we got another one. What you got?
So apparently Jim Becker, who's like an old, he played
He's an old.
he's a old time kind of horror movie actor. He played Mr. Potato Head in his Potato Head form, rather than his Willy Wonka form. He was actually supposed to play the Yeti, and they made the Yeti suit for him, but it didn't fit. So they apparently, I guess, got one of the writers or something to fit into the costume.
There were 4 writers on it, so one of them was bound to fit.
I mean, honestly, what's interesting is there's 4 writers for this, but then you see like movies like, I don't know, Avengers Endgame, and then there's like 20 writers, and it's like, you took 20 people to write this,
I don't even know that many people.
right?
Yeah.
I know you, RJ, and I don't even know her, so I mean, that's...
Yeah, who is this woman in the room with us?
You guys let her in.
Can we kick her out?
Anyway,
So my number 2 creature slash costume is going to be Mr. Potato Head himself, Emperor Palpatine.
which form?
The Emperor Palpatine form. I'm not going Willy Wonka form this time. As you pointed out, he did have the noose around the neck and kind of the bag over the head kind of neckline, like he was a scarecrow, but there was like form fitted around his like grotesque head. He had veins coming up. He had like the hood on. It gave me kind of like the He-Man Skeletor vibes, but also like it's kind of a good costume.
I think that one of the better effects in the movie was when he's like, I think it's in the movie theater, he's like floating above, and like the shot that's straight on, you can see his cloak flying around.
Yeah.
I thought that looked pretty decent given the other effects in the movie.
So like I felt like they spent most of the time for the costumes and characters on him, because most of the people in the towns were just like, they had big ears or big noses, maybe some warts and pimples. They look like Sloth from the Goonies, just variations of that. And like that was, and maybe like the goblins of Gringotts, and like that was it was like, we won't get into the anti-Semitic thing about that, but yeah.
All right, Trevor, what do you got for your number 2?
I liked as Andrew described it, legally not a gremlin, who's only in it for a very short time.
That's right.
But I think that the design it's not original, given that he looks a lot like a gremlin, but I think he looked cool.
100%.
I think that like more thought was given to that character design than like a lot of the other ones, honestly. I feel like, as Andrew was saying, a lot of them looked kind of samey, like just like goblin-y.
A lot of like the Cyclopsy. Yeah.
But this guy was like a green guy with upturned ears.
Wasn't
He was
the
cool.
bus?
Scales.
Yeah.
Over his eyebrows.
He probably sat in makeup for 8 hours for the one scene that he was
The
in.
bus where they're spilling the tea.
Yeah, the bus.
100%. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, my number 2. I'm pretty sure you guys didn't catch this one, but on the arrival of Halloweentown, there's actually a guy dressed up full blue genie style outfit.
What?
Yes, if you
Did
look
not
in the
see
background,
that.
he had a dark long ponytail. He has full genie pants,
That's right before
full
they did
blue.
Dapper, right?
Yep, right before there's a guy in the background, full on like. I don't know if they tried to do like a genie, like Will Smith's genie before Will Smith, but full on. in there. That's my number 2 costume.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, RJ, but the movie with the Will Smith genie is based on a different movie, actually.
The Aladdin?
Yeah, Aladdin is based on an animated film from the 90s.
He's messing with me right now. So he's doing.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because my number 3 is going to be the Gillman costume from when we're going to meet the ghost. And the Gillman kind of helps the ghost get into the sauna machine. And he's just got this like gross little like fish head hooked over. He's got little flipper arm things going on. And I felt like that was like another moment where it's like really kind of cool and interesting character design and prosthetics done on a character that's really just in it for 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool to see, but like it'd be kind of cool to see him more.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor, it's your turn now.
I feel like we've kind of been tap dancing around it, but it really speaks to the fact that the extras even in this movie probably sat in the makeup chair for so long. Like a lot of care was put into like just making the place have just like an array of different looking not different looking necessarily, but a lot of different well made up characters for how cheap the rest of the movie was. It's kind of shocking.
You know, I was kind of expecting that inside of the Halloweentown itself, like some more of the costumes with people helping out, those sorts of things, but there was none of that.
Yeah.
Even though I complained about the costumes being kind of like samey and stuff, like it's kind of nice to see with like a Disney Channel original, or do you say TCOM? Mm-hmm. Or DCOM. DCOM. Movie, like, I guess I don't need to say DCOM movie because that's just like, whatever. It's like saying ATM machine. But like for DCOM, like it's kind of nice to see like the costumes have like kind of an even playing field in quality. Even though like Debbie Reynolds, who's a member of Halloweentown, didn't have any makeup on, and maybe there's some questions about that, but like all of the costumes had kind of like an even playing field for like quality. Like there were some that shot up above, but there was like none that felt really like poorly done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which was nice to see.
All right, Trevor. So what's your final?
My final was, again, characters who were not on screen for very long, but there's like a parent and child. You're meant to insinuate pumpkinhead people.
Okay.
They just had pumpkin heads. They were so cute.
That gave me Season of the Witch vibes. So shout out to one of my favorite good movies, especially for Halloween, is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
I was reminded of Trick or Treat, Sam from Trick or Treat.
Also that.
We saw that today.
We saw several of those today, actually.
That's
a lot of kids randomly.
Yeah. That's a solid Halloween movie.
Yeah. Cult classic.
Yeah.
So my final costume is actually one that you see in the background. Once again, towards the end of the Caliber fight, there is a dog, a wolf man in the background, and he's got like this biker jacket. He's got a mullet, and he's got a biker jacket with studs on it, like sharp studs popping out of it, and it's a black leathery jacket. And I was like, by God, they have biker gangs in Halloweentown. What's going on here? But that is my last and final costume, which leads us into the quiz question.
But before we do that, we're just going to swing in really quick and do just the one last topic here. We're going to do the what moments.
What? We did 3 topics.
Are you done?
Yes.
All right. Are you done?
Hey, I'm done.
Okay, fine. Well,
respectfully.
All right. That's fine. So yeah, the quiz question was, so the mom from this, who is played by Judith Hoag, skipped the premiere of her other movie, which was a big budget 1998 film. What was that other movie?
You already asked us this.
I know, but I'm just reminding the audience.
Batman and Robin.
Okay. Any final guesses, RJ?
1998. No.
Okay. I'll give you all a hint. It starred Bruce Willis because it was Armageddon.
Oh.
She's here at the premiere of Armageddon to star in this. And you know what? Good choice.
Back
Good.
in it for Halloweentown 2.
Oh, you got a 4-movie deal with this.
Oh, she's on all 4?
I think so. Maybe
she's in the
3 or 4 is questionable, but at least the first 2.
Okay.
3 and 4 are
Interesting.
entirely skippable. They make me angry.
Really?
They're upsetting. They replace Marnie. And that's not the only.
Wait,
it's also
wait.
just bad.
So they don't just remove the character. They're just they
they
replace.
recast her. Recast, not replace. But
That's
that's
dirty.
not like
That's dirty.
I could go with that. I could go along with it. But the movies are just bad. They're uncreative. Ugh.
What's crazy too is that I believe in in Halloweentown, the Return to Halloweentown, which is the 4th one,
Halloweentown, the Return to Halloweentown.
or it's called Return to Halloweentown. The 4th one here, looking at it, there are scenes in it where they do flashback to the original actress.
That's
I
so
should say.
weird.
Why would you?
So also as well, looking into it, there is no scenes with the mom in it. Or no, wait, there she is. Never mind, I lied. She's in it.
Okay, cool.
When you do a flashback and you recast the character, minor tip to film creators. I know it might be easier to use the footage from the first movie, given that it's already shot. But, hear me out. Just film it with a new person that you recast. Unless they look very similar, it looks stupid, it looks cheap, it looks quickly done.
And they don't look even remotely similar.
Oh, that's stupid.
All right, so let's head into final thoughts, Trevor. Final thoughts of Halloweentown, the town itself, and also the movie here. I guess we already asked about the town, so forget about the town. We already know what we think about that. But tell us about what you think about the movie.
So I loved it a lot as a kid. I wasn't looking at it quite as critically, obviously. And I think that it's a great kids movie. I think that it's a well-structured story for the most part. It's pretty short, so there's not a lot of time to really like add any filler or anything. It's fun to look at. It's a cute movie. It's a fun little non-threatening Halloween movie for kids. It's a little bit scarier. Out of 10, as an adult, I'd give it a 7, but I think that a kid would probably give it around a 9, or I would have as a kid.
I did not see this as a kid, so I had zero nostalgia for this. As an adult, we already talked about the town. And what's, I guess, weird for me is, like, I saw the town before I saw the movie. I mean, only by a couple hours, but still. But the movie, I would probably give about a 7.5. 7. I feel like Don't Look Under the Bed was a better Halloween movie, was a little bit spookier, had a little bit better sets and acting and stuff like that. Maybe not acting if you count in Debbie Reynolds, but so I mean I digress. But it felt like this one. It's weird for a Halloweentown to be filmed on a sunny day, and it's very quick. There's not really that many spooky scenes. It's fine if you're going to throw it on for kids. That's cool. Like under 8, obviously they're going to enjoy it a lot more. But as an adult, yeah, just as far as these decoms go, like 7.5, maybe 8.
This is actually a movie that I keep in my Disney or my lineup for Halloween. I always got to keep a little lookout on it, take a little peek-see. So I'm kind of glad that this gave me an excuse to watch it for the Halloween season. I do agree that it is probably about a 7.5 from my standpoint as of right now. That Caliber scene as a kid, though, did scare the pee out of me when he's in the movie theater. I thought, by golly, this man's going to kill some people. And I didn't get to see
Just
the
one.
end of that until a year. Just a one scene. Or he did just kill just one person. So it is a good movie for kids. Definitely one to keep in the Halloween lineup, I think, for if you have kids. So.
And with that, any like final thoughts or shout outs or anything?
Final thoughts?
Final.
I don't think so. I think it's nice that it's very wholesome. And you mentioned the thing about the sunny day. And I think that's kind of like, it's a Halloween town, but that doesn't make it like a scary town necessarily. It's just kind of more vibes than like scary. And I think that works for a kid's, for not even a kid's horror movie. It's a kid's like fantasy movie.
It just would have been cool, like if it was just like shot on like an overcast day or something, just to like
But they
give
have
it.
to show like good Halloweentown and how happy
I
everyone
was about to
is.
say they're trying to paint it as a good, nice town in the beginning, and then when they gave the clouds, you notice that's when Calabar started to take over.
I mean, the clouds did nothing. They showed the clouds, but the clouds, it was still a sunny day.
And they CGI'd the clouds.
They
poorly.
absolutely CGI'd the clouds. That was like one of those like fix it in post. It was still a sunny day. I think you could still show how good Halloweentown is. And I think you still teach the same lesson to kids by like don't judge a book by its cover, but how ugly the residents are or whatever you want to. I mean,
You're kidding yourself.
who cares how ugly they are or how much they look like RJ? Love you, RJ. But like, you could have still painted that same picture, but even to like, I guess, a greater degree, if you would have made the Halloweentown a little bit spookier, maybe shot it at nighttime, made some like lightning, or like maybe even like an overcast, misty day or something like when we went today. Like if you were shot it like at some time like that, like it's still kind of creepy, but you could still paint it in a good light.
But kids are stupid.
I know.
You have to hold their hand.
I know, but I hate that because we shouldn't have to.
This movie isn't for you.
I know.
It was for you 25 years ago.
Yeah. And with that, if you want to find us or send us angry messages, you can find us at Instagram at Cafe Freak. That's KAUGHIEPHREKE on Instagram if you want to find us. If you want to follow us on any of our you're listening to us wherever you want to listen to podcasts, but just hit that follow button if you want, or just hit unsubscribe because this offended you so much.
Does RJ want to take another swing at this?
I got this. And with that, we out.
Yeah, we out. Andrew's done. We out. We're hitting on pause right now.
We out.
My gosh. Why is this guy here?
We out.